Hey there guys, this is Decimatus back for more Payday 2. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jacket Character Pack, Sociopath Perk Deck, and all the new stuff that comes with the Hotline Miami 2 DLC. Let's start with the masks, all the way down to my Hotline section here. As you can see, we've got the Duck Mask, the Snake Mask, the Rat Mask, the Zebra Mask, the Mangled Tiger Mask. It's pretty intense. Our Biker Mask, which is the Nemesis from the first one there, and then Richard Returns. So these are all the basic Hotline Miami 2. You get these just for owning Hotline Miami 2, and then if you got the Deluxe Edition, you got your Richard Returns Mask, your Sociopath Perk Deck, and your Jacket Character Pack. So that is the little bit of a difference there. So if you are going to look into this, you definitely want to make sure you get that Deluxe Edition if you want to take advantage of the Perk Deck and the Sociopath character. So it's you know, from what I hear, they're actually getting an upgrade in place for the people who have accidentally purchased the wrong pack. So no worries if you didn't get the right one. As far as your melee weapon goes, we have got our Carpenter's Delight. It's a pretty high knockdown, pretty low concealment weapon. I like it. It's going to replace the telescopic baton for me in certain builds where I need that extra knockdown. So I like it. I think it's pretty effective. It's kind of harder to miss with it than with some other things. Plus the animation, you're swinging a freaking hammer. I like it. As far as our new weapon goes, we have got Jacket's Peice. This unique modifier here, 80s Calling, is what gives it this awesome tint here. As you can see, it's got that Hotline Miami rainbow, a couple palm trees, and our little Richard logo there, so you know it's Hotline Miami. I love the gun. I think it's fantastic. It's got a really high rate of fire. My only complaint about it is the reload time and the low magazine, but you know, I think the rationale behind that is they want you to be, you know, taking cover when you need to, and you know, swinging that hammer otherwise. So yeah, you may be out of ammo, but you got all those melee buffs. Swing that hammer, boy. Swing it. So I like it. Like I said, my only complaints are the reload time. As far as our perk deck goes, we've got No Talk. When you're close to an enemy, you receive 4% less damage from enemies. Now, this is the same thing as basic close combat, it's just got a different name. Sort of the same way that these two share subtle. I don't really know why they decided to give it a different name, other than, you know, to give it a little bit more flavor, make it feel like an actual, you know, this is the Sociopath deck, not the Infiltrator 2.0 deck. After our No Talk, we've got Tension. Just killing an enemy regenerates 10 armor. This effect cannot occur more than once every 3 seconds. So this is a lot like the armor regeneration skill in the Fugitive Tree, except that requires headshots, and this requires a kill. So it's a little bit different, but very much in the same style. They probably work very well together. Clean Hit is another one of those. Basically all of these skills that we're going to acquire in this deck are on a 3-second timer. So essentially once every 3 seconds, you're going to get a lot of return as long as you are running around, staying active, doing those melee kills, making sure you're doing everything you can to keep yourself in the line of fire and beating the shit out of people. Doing what Jacket would do. You want to be hurting people. So with our Clean Hit, now we've got 10 armor on every kill and 5% health on every kill, as long as we did a melee strike. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. We'll move on to Overdose, which is our killing an enemy at close range regenerates 10 armor. Now, this is a little bit different than Tension, and they do share a different cooldown, whereas this one is saying, you know, obviously this is close range, this is long range. So let's say you get a melee hit, you kill the guy. Well, you just regenerated 5 health and 10 armor, then you whip out the Uzi and kill another guy. Well, that's another 10 armor. You just, in the course of 2 seconds, in less than the time it took you for the cooldown for the skill to run off, those 3 seconds haven't even run out yet, and you've regenerated 5 health and 20 armor. It's crazy. I like it. It's, like I said, it's very fast-paced, you know, quick. You just want to be constantly moving, killing everything you can, as much as you can, as fast as you can. You're a sociopath, after all. Finally, we've got Showdown. Killing an enemy at close range has a 20% chance to spread panic among your enemies. Now this is a really cool one. This is a lot like that muscle skill that essentially does the same thing, where your actions have a chance to cause this panic to spread. Um, I noticed that this doesn't proc quite as often as I would like, and it's not quite as effective as I would like because, frankly, I am destroying anything near me before Showdown even has a chance to proc. But when it does, it's really cool. It's awesome to see them cower in fear. Let's be honest, I'd shit bricks if I saw this running at me with a big hammer and a rainbow Uzi. I'm not interested in this. This is gonna fuck my day up. As far as our armor goes, I would not recommend running a dodge build with this perk deck. You miss out on that 30% dodge. Dodge is all or nothing. So this is going to be an armor build for sure. I've just got a quick and easy. I'm blowing through infamy right now, so I don't have all the skill points available to me, but I've just got a really basic build. I decided to include 9 lives and Swan Song Ace because in my book, especially with a build like this, you're going to be constantly running around, constantly in the line of fire. You're going down. I mean, that's fucking inevitable. You can't avoid that. That's going to happen. Being able to get yourself back up instantly with 9 lives and being able to make sure you are safe to get to with Swan Song it's essential. Swan Song in and of itself is a great skill, and 9 lives doesn't have a whole lot of usage outside of a build like this where you know you're going to be going down a lot. So just take the build with a grain of salt. You can probably go with just about any loud build that you want, the same way that the Fugitive works. Excuse me, not Fugitive, Infiltrator. Another good thing to note would be to try to pick up some of those melee buffs. Pumping Iron is a good one. I'll probably go into Berserker on this one as I move forward. But again, it's a little counterintuitive to pick up something like Berserker in a skill like this because you have to understand that you're regenerating health. That's part of the build, is you regenerate health. Berserker relies on you being under a percentage of health. So it's like you're battling which should I be doing. You're trying to avoid those melee hits. Well, you need to be bringing that health back in, and Berserker buffs melee hits. So it's like, well, you're torn between two options there. So it's just one of those things that if you have extra points laying around, go for it. But otherwise, don't feel like you need Berserker for this build by any means. I think for this or Infiltrator, it can be counterintuitive just because of the regeneration factor. Now that we know how the perk deck works, let's take a look at the character himself. Jacket is from the Hotline Miami series, and in that, he is the protagonist. He's also a mute, which means he doesn't speak.
Stay down. Stay. This is JetSec Tech Support. If you have a problem with your radio, please contact us during normal business hours.
His actual bio on the website reads, although Jacket is the last to brag, he doesn't speak at all. His achievements in the criminal underworld are widely known. Allegedly, he once wiped out the entire Russian mafia in Miami all on his own. His background in the military and his unflinching attitude towards over-the-top violence has made him an excellent hitman, or messenger as some like to call it. For reasons unknown, he remains completely mute and chooses to communicate only with the help of a tape recorder, playing back bits and pieces of language learning tapes, PAs, and documentary narrations instead of speaking. It sounds like most of his sound bites come from the same tape, and he usually sounds like this woman with a phonetic voice.
Broadcast of the emergency airwaves. This is a test. Do not be alarmed. This is a test.
Compared to some of the other heisters, the pager responses are a little boring, but some of his quips are downright hilarious. From what I've seen, he's got responses to every heister, every possible enemy type, and every deployable, so for the most part, it feels like his voice lines are pretty complete.
Down. Runter.
As you just heard, he'll also occasionally speak in other languages. Typically, it is that woman's voice, but occasionally a man will speak. Anytime I've ever heard the man speak, he's not speaking English. I've heard Italian, I've heard German, I think I've even heard French. Because Jacket is the first heister that we've ever seen who doesn't come in a suit, I'll go through the different armor types just to show you what it looks like. Essentially, it works the same way for him as it does for everyone else, where the The actual Letterman jacket acts as his suit coat, and only one of them, the lightweight ballistic vest, goes inside. The other stuff just layers on top. Now that we're done stealthing the jewelry store with 75 detection, that I actually didn't recognize. I think he said something like, "We met Esto." I have no idea what that means. I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find it.
I bought you a present.
That one, on the other hand, is a little more clear.
Here you go.
So's that one. Hilarious. That about wraps up our look at the Jacket character pack and the Sociopath Perk Deck. I like Jacket a lot, and I'll probably use him as my default heister from now on, even if the perk deck isn't the greatest. Thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and click here to check out one of my other skill guides, achievement videos, or heist guides. As always, happy heisting.